3, 2, 1. Know your place, know your numbers, get ready to learn something useful. So I'm Mr. Ray the teacher. There's some social media you can check out. Follow and subscribe would be much appreciated. So moving along, it's mathematics, maths, wherever you are in the world. Different ways you can say it. Topic is basic calculation. The concept is place values and rounding off. So it's a numbers game, and there's my social media again. Feel free to check it out. Much appreciated. And yeah, what we're going to start off with is an explanation. Rounding off is when we simplify writing numbers down. This is to make a number easier to work with or to say. For example, compare saying there are 4,865,232 people versus there are around 5 million people. One's got accuracy, one's got speed. And even if you go, well, I can say it just as quick, but the message is going to be lost because like you got to break that big number down. See, lots of digits here, whereas here you just got 5 million. Bang, bada bing, bada boo. In short, it means pick a place value and push the number up by 1, plus 1, or leave it the same, depending on the digit next to it on the right. So see here, really quick one. I'll explain in more detail next. But 4.8 million, you got your 8, so that means push it up, so it becomes 5. And then make the rest of the numbers after it 0. So knowing your place values, your decimal place value chart, start with your decimal point. In some places that is a comma, but it gets confusing when you start chucking commas later on. But anyway, you've got your ones or your units, your tens, hundreds, thousands, tens, thousands, hundred thousands, and then your millions. And it keeps going on, but that's good enough for now. Going on the other side, so I'm putting there, you got your tenths. So we don't write once or units. So there is no such thing. We start with tenths. Don't ask why. It is what it is. Then you got your hundredths, your thousands, tens, thousands, hundred thousands, then your millions. So just looking here, so for example, orange, the yellow corresponds, the green here corresponds, the blues and the purples. So hopefully makes it easier. Feel free to screenshot this. So first you need to know your place values. This is important so we can learn where the cutoff is. So leaving the number alone. The number is left alone when the number next to it on the right of the place value in question is 0. And the rest of the number preceding, below, or after it are zeros. So let's look at this one. Round to the nearest 100. So to 0, to 0. We leave the number alone as is. So round to the nearest 1,000. So with this example that I've written here, look at the thousands. Leave it alone. Rounding down. So the number is rounded down when the number next number to the right of the place value in question is a 1, 2, 3, or 4. The number in question is left alone, and the rest of the corresponding numbers preceding after it change into zeros. So with that, it says rounding down. You're not like subtracting it by 1. So it's a little bit misleading, but just play ball with it. It is what it is. So with that number 324, round to the nearest 100. So it's a 3. What's the next number to the right? A 2. So change that to a 0, change that to a 0. What about round to the nearest 1,000th? So look at the 1,000th. It's a 9. What number is it? Oh, it's a 3. Change that to a 0, change that to a 0. You can also get rid of those zeros too if you want. Rounding up. So the number is rounded up when the number next to it on the right place value in question is a 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. So here you add 1 to the digit. Then the rest of the numbers preceding, so following after them, change into zeros. So let's look at this number, 5,624. Round to the nearest 1,000. So look on the hundreds one next over. It's a 6. So that's going to be a 0, and it's going to get pushed up. Round to the nearest hundredth. So it's a 3. That's a 9. So push it up and put those as zeros, and you can get rid of them if you don't want them there. And round to the nearest 10. So the number is rounded up is a 9. Make it a 0 because 9 plus 1 equals 10. Then plus 1 to the next digit and keep repeating if necessary. And then the rest of the numbers proceeding after the changing them into zeros, even if they are after the decimal point. So let's look at this one. 9. The 10th is. This is a hard one. Paying attention here. 9. So the next number, that's a 9. So we're going to put that into a 0 only because we're adding. This is a plus 1 here, so it's really small than a plus 1 here. That becomes a 0. Oh, so you add the 1 over. That becomes a 0 here because you've got to keep carrying it over. Plus 1 there, and it becomes a 3. Nothing else to do. Leave it. Now, we've got to start changing these bad boys. So it's a 0. That's a 0. That's a 0. Even if it's after the decimal point, get rid of them. And then we'll just get rid of them here just to make it. So what did you learn today? If that's what someone asks you, please don't waste the text period $. Learn about place values and rounding off. So place values show the value of a particular digit. You can round off numbers to simplify them. If the digit in question has a number 0 to the right of it, leave it alone. If the digit has a 1, 2, 3, or 4 to the right of it, then change all the numbers to the right into a 0. This is rounding down. If the digit has a number 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9 to the right of it, then add 1 and change all the numbers to the right into 0. This is rounding up. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, check out my other videos. Remember, learning for a bright future. Spread the word, tell your classmates, friends, and colleagues. Check out my Patreon. If this video is monetized, checking the ads also helps too. So many thanks to that. And a special shout out to Stage 4 math class, which that lesson was for, and my Year 8 remedial math. All right, we'll leave it at that. Catch you on the flip side. Study hard. Ciao.